Hello folks, this is Ferenc on board with another video, this time regarding memes. I chose to speak today about memes because I've been thinking about this for a few days now, and even if I've been very busy with my video games and kind of neglected my YouTube part of my life, I still haven't given up and I will never give up posting at least part of my wisdom and sharing it with the world. Now, I'm seeing more and more memes on the internet, and they're becoming well, more and more common. But the point is that I see somewhat beyond them, and what I see is kind of a very sad reality. The problem with memes is that, well, everyone loves them. There's so many of these, and unfortunately, it's just um, it's just very bad in a way because the point is that memes are a way to communicate in between people, but unfortunately they end up being used by people who are very shy, and in this shyness these memes become very frequent and very common because they are an easy way to express a certain emotion. However, when spreading memes throughout the internet, the problem is people forget about the pendulum effect. And when they share memes, especially less pleasant ones or that can emulate some hatred in people or awful reactions, they forget that through the pendulum effect those things will come sooner or later back to them. How's that? Well, the pendulum effect means that everything around us is an energy source, and well, the pendulum effect doesn't state this, like everything is kind of a mini black hole. Everything that you think about, anything that exists around, and especially people who think about those, or animals, or everything, anything that is sent towards a certain thing, like let's say thought forms that are sent towards an idea, they will vibrate and they will attach themselves to that idea. And let's say, for example, streamers. Many streamers end up having a lot of subscribers, probably in the millions, and honestly, the point is that when they have millions, they are really influenced by those people's opinions. So, if someone would want to hurt them, they can actually cause some slight changes in that person's behavior. Let's say through some kind of little occult sieges towards those. Now, this isn't necessary, I mean, the only way, but people at certain times, especially when they become famous, they might overdo it. They might think that they are overly important and more important than others, and the problem is that they might end up doing some bad videos and people will have bad reactions towards those streamers. And when so many people have a bad reaction or good reactions, those actually go towards that streamer and towards that video itself and each video that they watch and react towards. So basically, have you ever had those situations when you were looking at something, you were watching a video or something, or you were driving your car down a more silent part of your town, there's literally no one around, and a thought creeps in your mind and you suddenly shiver because that idea would probably not belong to you. That is mostly because your vibration matched a certain frequency around that area, or when you were watching the memes and videos or whatever people watch on the internet, and you had a certain vibration that invited those things to come to you. Basically, it's like the internet and a computer. When you connect to sources of the internet, your mind also connects to those just like a computer does to the servers. And our minds can actually take mental viruses from those because we can pick up different vibrations from there. We can pick up thoughts from others. When you watch the news and you see so much hatred, there's a lot of people who manifest hatred towards that. So you will come. They also have a habit of lowering your vibration if you're not prepared well and if you can't see things for what they are. And when this happens, unfortunately, you will actually pick more and more of that, and it becomes like a death spiral. You will watch the news more and more because you'll probably believe that you will feel much better and you will feel much more knowledgeable, because by allowing yourself to stay at a lower vibration, you will be more and more boarded by negative entities who will simply pick on you, and they will terraform you and your dimensional body so that they can spend as much time as possible in you and actually farm you of your energy that they cannot naturally produce. What I see in memes is a nice way of communication, but unfortunately it is a silent way. It is a way that to me reveals a lot of pain, because I see so many people, especially those in my own generation. These people are unfortunately very, very shy. They are almost emotionally devastated by their parents, abusive other people, and so many children nowadays seem to have such greater empathy, and that can actually backfire against them, especially at younger ages when they simply don't have the ways to defend themselves. And memes end up to be a common way of communication, but unfortunately memes show me through that, and I feel a way in a way I feel through them something like being easy to manipulate, because when people read memes, they quickly agree to those messages, even if they naturally wouldn't necessarily. But it's because they are also lonely, and many people crave for companionship and for people of their own level. But unfortunately, they end up sticking with all these ideas. And parasitic entities actually do a lot of work to have people hooked in such ways that they get terraformed towards lower frequencies and vibrations so that they can actually inhabit them. They jump from person to person, and they will make people, for example, post memes while they will also make others to actually watch those. They actually keep track of different people all around the world because they don't sleep. Sure, this might sound far-fetched, but I'm always ready to speak about things most people would not speak, and these are things that I've been reading about, and also many of those actually come from numerous sources. Let's call them inspirational sources, because they more like such answers come to me and I don't spend too much time reading about them. But being introspective for at least 15 years, I ended up knowing and getting to know many things. Now sure, I'm not all knowledgeable and all wise, but for someone at my age, like almost 30, I'm happy to say that I'm quite wise of a person even at my age, which clearly shows that I'm what can be called a crystal child. And to go further, memes actually present a lot of dark aspects of a person, a lot of dark habits like running away from people, choosing a simple way to communicate, and so many people spend their time so unproductively creating such pictures, which actually deliver some interesting messages, but they can also be misinterpreted. And when misinterpretations happen, the message that others send towards that meme will also impact you because of the pendulum effect. Anyone who connects to your memes will also send their vibration to you, because when you think of those memes you've created or you've been looking at, the point is, based on your vibration, you are at least subconsciously sending some vibrations. At least subconsciously, because, point be said, you always send things to the universe, and the universe will give back based on your own vibration. So, the point is that um, our reality is shaped by our perceptions. When you are mad or sad, the point is that everything around you looks uglier. When you are happy and overjoyed, everything will look much better and bright. And that's how I see things as well. But with memes, they are a nice idea to communicate, but I do feel that people are spending too much time collecting them or creating them in order to just come up with an answer, when they could just pick up the phone and break that fear of communication and fear of being judged, and also the fear of being laughed at by so many other people. So people who love memes a lot actually tell me a lot just by abusing memes, like it's something that I see more or less it's avoidable. Like um, someone can actually communicate without memes. Like I usually don't like memes. I'm not interested in them, but sure I don't mind some of them, but I don't overdo this anyways. So the point with memes is that they are a very interesting way to communicate, and if you take it into account in a very interesting way, um, there is a very there is a very there is a very interesting thing that I actually like. You see, back then in the times, there were writings that used to represent images. If you remember some of the runes of the Vikings, for example, the Norse people, the Egyptians had, they had drawings, lots of them. The Chinese and Japanese, well, the Japanese kind of took most of the kanji from the Japanese and um, well, they adapted their own as well and made them even more intricate than the Chinese had them, and they are still symbols. They are symbols that represent nature. Nowadays, society is moving into the age of Aquarius, which is the age of truth, and leaving the idea of the age of Pisces, which is all about feelings and emotions, also, unfortunately, the age of concealment, the age of things that are hidden. The point is that now things start coming out, and also people start becoming wiser and wiser. Sure, not many of these people will actually become wiser, but unfortunately, enlightenment will occur to each and every one at their own step, and at their own pace. So some people will probably not experience it in this life. Probably they are preparing themselves for future lives. Some people might actually be on what I'd call a carousel of, a journey through consciousness, which is also the name of my video game that I'm creating in RPG Maker. Now, the point is with memes that they are a way of reminding ourselves that we are returning to the age of communicating through symbols, because in the end an image is worth 1,000 words. So memes to have positive and negative points, but usually I prefer knowing the weaker parts of humans so that I get to know them and so that I also learn how to help them. Because what I believe a good friend is someone who knows you better than you do, and then they can actually help you based on that knowledge. And that's basically who I prefer being for other people. Now, I haven't probably delivered too much on memes. I'll make other videos about this, but I just wanted to point out that they present some negative aspects like shyness or fear of communication or fear of being judged. These are all things that can be seen in people who love and actually end up abusing memes. Now, what can I tell you is that as long as you don't abuse something, things will always be good. And, well, you say, in the end, I'd like to say that have an awesome day. Learn to not abuse things. Use things and enjoy them. Use them if you like them, like if you really like them, and enjoy life more than just using some simple images with a simple message. If you like memes, try sending memes that have much deeper meaning than just simple words on a cartoon-based image. After all, I'm not here to judge people. I'm not interested in judging people, and I will never do it. Or, unfortunately, I might, but we all end up being a bit judgmental in the end. So, all I can say is that don't end up abusing anything because it can show a lot of problems that you might have. Subconscious programming and all sorts of aspects like that. Um, all I'm wishing you is to have a nice day, and just remember, life is awesome, and also so are you.